to the African integration through the Continental Free Trade Area and the Common African Passport. African countries will soon be able to increase trade amongst each other and boost economic development within the continent. Such improved people-to-people cooperation will also encourage learning from one another with regards to the system of governance. With regards to human development, Africa's most important dividend is the youthfulness of its population. We need to invest in our youth by inculcating the democratic values and principles. They should be the custodians of these values that many African liberation heroes and heroines sacrificed immensely for. What is important is that every action we take each day must help us to end poverty, inequality, and unemployment, and enable our people to live better lives. That applies in our country and indeed across the continent, so that we can build the type of Africa that Nelson Mandela, Julius Nyerere, Agostinho Neto, Kenneth Kaunda, and all other illustrious leaders of our continent sacrificed for. We therefore want to congratulate all those who have been involved in putting together this 2018 Ibrahim Index that is being launched today. It is an important contribution to building the Africa we strive for. So I hope that all of us will have a look at the document, because it's really quite an enlightening and very informative document. And I think it's a very important one to have a document where we have a mechanism where governments, academics, researchers, civil society can play a role in promoting accountability and transparency of various governments in our countries. And we were discussing now with the APRM that we need to also emphasize that amongst our own government at different levels, not just at national government level, but also levels of provinces and levels of municipalities. It's the old African way of learning from one another, where we share best practices, where we are able to correct each other, and we are able to support each other in cases where some of us are faltering or going through challenges, but we can learn from each other through good success stories, but also learn from the mistakes of others by sharing right across the different spheres of governance. And I believe, therefore, that as we prepare for the report from South Africa, we must have actually deepened this whole issue of peer review amongst the various levels of government, and in particular with the municipalities, where we're going through quite a lot of challenges with the issues of governance. And I believe that this is one tool wherein we can learn from each other, support each other, correct each other, but at the end of the day, strengthen governance, but also ensure that the stakeholder involvement is improved, whereby communities, civil society is able to play a role in guiding governments in terms of how some of the issues have to be managed. Ultimately, we have seen our communities responding in violent protests whenever they show disapproval, but I think that these kinds of mechanisms will be able to assist us to open up channels where the concerns, the anger, the difficulties that the communities are experiencing can actually go through a formalized mechanism where we know we can always impact on the way government at local level, at provincial and national level operates. I hope that this document will actually assist all our structures of governance in the country, as it will in the rest of the continent. And I want to say thank you very much for the partnership, and we want to continue to promote that partnership and say it's one good step forward. And in the future, our continent must be known for good, transparent, accountable governance, wherein our lives, the lives of our people, continue to improve, and that investment continue to flow in the continent on the basis that governance is trusted and governance is good. And all of this for us is the only way to strengthen democracy. We wish you everything of the best, and we really look forward to the discussions of this meeting. Thank you very much.
Okay, there you go. That was the Ibrahim Index on African governance being debated in Johannesburg. We're told reportedly that despite strong GDP growth over the last 10 years, Africa has actually failed to generate economic opportunities for its booming youth population. And you heard there from the Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Minister, Dr. Zweli Mkhize. Now, we're following a number of stories today.